Kong, I went to Men's Warehouse this last weekend to get my suit fitted, right? And the tailor was just like breathing over my neck the whole time, like he wouldn't leave me alone. So I asked him, "Well, can you go stand over there?" And he said, "Well, fine then, suit yourself."
What's up, Saints? I'm Kong.
I'm Hyatt.
I'm Cole.
I'm Ben.
And this is SFHS Today. In breaking news, Saints, graduation is a little bit around the corner, and we've got news about tickets. Every senior is granted 4 tickets, and if you need more than 4, you have to wait until all tickets are handed out to see if anyone has any extra ones. Anyway, that's all for me. Back to the studio. Hey Saints, hope you all had a good testing week. With the MCAs and the ACT finally over with, our very own Hyatt Lindquist went out to get the scoop on how the tests went.
What's up, Saints? With testing season wrapping up, I went out and interviewed a couple students on how they felt about it. How was the ACT for you?
You know, I think it went really good, but it was just the time. It was kind of a factor for me. I already had a time and I had to write down random stuff, so otherwise it was good.
Pretty bad. The test was super long, and I don't think I did that good.
I took the MCAs, and they were really long and boring.
I took both the MCAs and the ACT, and both were really long and boring and really hurt my brain.
It wasn't bad. The time limit was really hard to finish all the questions in.
Yeah, it was just kind of stressful being timed. And
You know, they were pretty good. It was just a long 3.5 hours, I thought.
Yeah, how'd your ACT go?
You know, the questions weren't that bad, but I was about 33 out of 75, and I hear 5 minutes left, wrap it up. So on my test sheet, there's just about like 3, maybe 3.5 rows of just C's. Looking good, Hyatt. Thanks, Hyatt. Over the last weekend, the SFHS theater program aired their spring show, Into the Woods. Phenomenal job on costumes and set designs. I know it's often overlooked, but a true thespian critic like me sees every little detail. And I just want to say, Alex's suit looked the best.
Speaking of suits, with prom right around the corner, we thought we'd give a recap on events and times. Check into the high school at 3:45 p.m. and pictures by David Banks Studios will be held in the back gyms. Grand March will officially begin at 5 p.m. We will be walked down accompanied by your date. Remember to put on your best smile and your model strut. Personally, I've been practicing my walk for weeks. And then the courtyards of Andover will open their doors at 6:30 p.m. and you'll need your ticket for entry. Also, don't forget to vote for your prom king and queen.
Colin, did you see Cole's suit?
The green one?
Yeah, for those of you who haven't been blessed with this just wonderful sight, we got a visual representation coming in now. And in case you couldn't get enough of our favorite little leprechaun, we'll send it over to sports.
Hey, Saints, I'm Cole.
And I'm Ben.
And this is Sports.
In national sports news, the NFL draft has concluded. Ben went on and got some opinions on how fans feel about their team's picks.
With the NFL draft underway, I went out and talked to some Saints on how they feel about their team's draft this year.
Who is your favorite NFL team?
The Packers.
How do you feel about their NFL draft this year?
It was pretty good. We should have had a different first round pick though.
Who would you have liked to pick in the first round?
Probably that cornerback out of Iowa.
Who is your favorite team in the NFL?
My favorite team in the NFL is the Seattle Seahawks.
How do you think their draft went this year?
So I feel like we drafted pretty well. We got a nice little D lineman and Byron Murphy Jr. And then we added on to our O-line, got some offensive threats, but I think we could have got better, but it's whatever.
Who is your favorite NFL team?
The Minnesota Vikings.
How do you think their draft went this year?
I think the draft went all right. First round, we got J.J. McCarthy, not a bad pickup, kind of the quarterback, and Dallas Turner, really hoping he does good.
Who is your favorite NFL team?
Dallas Cowboys.
And how do you feel like their draft went this year?
Not very good. We got an edge rusher in the second round. Didn't really need him, but we got some offensive linemen, some good depth, wide receiver and corner, so not bad.
Who is your favorite NFL team?
I'm a Jets fan.
And how do you feel like their draft went this year?
It
It went all right. I'm glad we got some protection for Rodgers.
Who's your favorite NFL team?
The Philadelphia Eagles.
And how do you feel this year's draft went for them?
One of their better ones. They usually have a good one every year, but I think we got some much needed secondary help, and we should be back in business next season.
And Saints, for me, I'm a Jets fan, and I can't be more stoked about Malachi Corley. I think he's a great pick. He's the next Deebo Samuel. He's going to flourish under Aaron Rodgers. And the Jets also got what I call the steal of the draft, Jalen Key, DB from Alabama. You know, he was this year's Mr. Irrelevant, but I think he easily could have gone in the second round. We'll see what happens next year, and I can't wait to see. In more national sports news, there was a shooting last Sunday in Sanford, Florida. Houston Texans wide receiver Tank Dell happened to be one of the 10 people injured during the shooting. Police have told CNN that a fistfight broke out. A teenager had pulled out a handgun and started shooting towards a crowd of people. Dell is in good spirits after having minor injuries sustained from the shooting.
The Timberwolves head coach, Chris Finch, ruptured his patellar tendon on his right knee when he collided with guard Mike Conley Jr. in the fourth quarter of the game versus the Suns last Sunday. He was helped off the floor and left the arena on a cart. You know, Ben, I was watching the game, and the fall really didn't even look that bad.
Cole, I was watching the game as well, and it's always the falls that don't look to be that bad that end up being the worst for some reason. Don't know why, that just kind of seems to be how it is. In more local sports news, softball lost 9-1 against Chisago last Thursday, but were able to pull off a win against Orono last Saturday, 6-3. Good job, girls, and keep that winning streak alive.
Speaking of softball, Ben went out to talk to the softball team to get this week's Sounds of the Game.
Hey Saints, I'm here with the Emerson Marcus, and Emerson, can you tell us on why softball players hit themselves in the back with their bat?
Well, it differs from player to player, but usually it just depends on what their finish in the shooting looks like.
Well, there you have it, Saints. The answer to the $1 million question.
The baseball team is 4-2 on the season so far. They played Chisago last Thursday and won 4-3. They play every night this week, starting tonight at home versus Duluth Dinefield. That's all the sports info we have for you this week, Saints. I'm Cole.
And I'm Ben. Pound it, nog it, see ya.
Thanks, boys, for never throwing any shots back. And we thought we'd end off the show with the golden age question. What superpower would you pick if you could choose any? Kong's got you covered.
It's the random question thing. Ding.
Man, I hate the rain. If only I could control the weather. Then I'd be like some type of superhero or something. Or a superpower. Speaking of superpowers, for this week's RQT, we went out and asked a couple of students what they choose as a superpower if they could have any.
There's a lot to go by, but honestly, I would take where I could teleport to a different room. Like, if someone's talking to me and I don't like the person, I can just get out of that situation and go talk to my mom.
Probably, freeze time.
Freeze time?
Yeah. I would choose mind reading so I can see what people are thinking when they're staring at me.
I would fly so I can get places faster.
Teleportation so I can get places faster.
Super strength, you already know. Gotta knock through them walls and pick up them weights, you heard? I got football motivation right there. Keep your grades up. God bless you. Have a nice day.
Poison Ivy, because that seems kind of lit, to be honest. You control plans, whatever you want, and just.
Invisibility. So I could, anything like crime happens, they wouldn't even know I'm there. Just want to help people.
You said a crime happens. Are you committing the crime?
No. I'm the one helping out.
Probably super speed. Probably invisibility.
I want to fight back against this terrible weather. Going into my cave of darkness to find my secret superpower. I don't fear you! You know, I know it's a pretty boring answer. Everyone's like, oh, I want to do all this and basically have the powers of God.
Yeah.
I'd just pick flight. It seems really cool.
Kong, if you were given the choice though, would you be picking flight or height?
Well, in continuation of our special shout out, Lily Tilly, thanks for being amazing in the classroom. Keep it up. That's all we have for you this week. Stay safe, Saints. We'll see you next time.